Built on Grit, the show where we go behind the scenes with oilfield leaders and frontline crews to uncover what it really takes to thrive in America's toughest work environments. I'm your host, Joe Carter, and today we're talking about leadership, resilience, and building something that lasts. My guest today is Justin Birchell, co-owner and CEO of B&B Roustabout, Inc. Justin isn't just running operations. He's out there building a culture of excellence from the dirt up. Justin, welcome to the show.
Hey Joe, thanks for having me. Always good to be here talking about what drives our team and our business.
Let's kick things off with your story. You've worn every hat in this industry, from the field to the front office. What drew you to start B&B Roustabout, and what's been your biggest lesson since launching?
You know, it really started with my dad and just one crew back in 1994. My dad instilled in me a work ethic and a deep respect for the people who do the hard work. The guys in the mud, the ones out there before dawn, in the heat, in the snow, making it happen. I began as a roustabout myself, and those early years were some of the most formative. You learn quickly in this industry that if you're not dependable, you don't last. But what struck me more than anything was how often those guys, the ones keeping the job running, weren't given the support or respect they deserved. I saw early on what the right crew could do when leadership actually backed them. I had a foreman once who said, "Don't ask your guys to do anything you wouldn't do yourself." That stuck with me. So when the opportunity came up to build something of my own, I knew the foundation had to be about more than just doing the job. It had to be about doing it right, treating people right, and building a team that had each other's backs. B&B Roustabout wasn't just born out of ambition, it was born out of frustration. My dad and I have seen too many companies cut corners, ignore safety protocols, and burn out good people. We wanted to create a culture that flipped that script. We wanted a place where our crews were valued, trained well, paid fairly, and looked after. A place where integrity wasn't a buzzword, it was the standard. As for the biggest lesson, honestly, leadership means showing up every day, especially when it's hard. When things go wrong, and they will, it's not about hiding behind a title or pointing fingers. It's about rolling up your sleeves and being present. Whether it's a downed rig, a missed bid, or a crew that's been grinding for 16 hours in brutal conditions, you lead by showing up, listening, and setting the tone. That kind of consistency builds trust, and trust builds companies. Another thing I've learned, and honestly, I learned it from you, Joe, so I give you all the credit here. Growth without culture is a time bomb. You can scale all you want, but if you don't build your people along the way, your foundation will crack. That's why we put so much emphasis on mentorship and internal promotion. Some of our best supervisors today were laborers just a few years ago. They earned their stripes, and now they're leading from the front just like we hoped they would.
That's powerful. You're speaking to a truth that's too often overlooked in leadership circles. It's one thing to run a company. It's another to build a company that runs on purpose and principle. People talk about company culture a lot, but in the oil field, it's not posters on the wall, it's how you run your crew. What is the B&B Standard, and how do you keep it alive across your job sites?
That's exactly it, Joe. Out here, culture doesn't live in a handbook. It lives in habits. And for us, we sum it up in 3 words: reliable, relentless, respectful. When we say reliable, we mean every man and woman on our crew knows that when they show up, they're showing up not just for themselves, but for the team. We don't deal in excuses. If a job kicks off at 5:30 a.m., we're already 10 minutes early, boots on, ready to roll. That kind of consistency creates momentum, and momentum builds trust with our clients. Relentless means we don't stop short. It's not just about finishing the job, it's about finishing it with precision, with pride, and with full attention to detail. We coach our crews on what we call the last 5%, because that's where excellence lives. Anyone can get the job done. Few can get it done right, under pressure, without losing focus. And respectful? That one's huge. We're in an industry where tempers flare, days are long, and the stakes are high. But we don't tolerate drama, disrespect, or unsafe behavior, period. We treat each other like family because out in the field, your crew is your family. Whether it's a greenhorn on his first job or a foreman with 20 years under his belt. Everyone deserves respect. That applies to how we communicate, how we correct, how we lead. The B&B Standard shows up in how we train, how we promote, and how we reward performance. Our COO, AJ, and I don't just hand someone a hard hat and hope they figure it out. Our training is hands-on, structured, and built around situational awareness. We run mock drills, safety briefings, cross-train on equipment, because we don't want good enough. We want dependable, adaptable leaders. Promotion isn't about seniority, it's about mindset. We're constantly watching for who's stepping up when no one's looking, who's solving problems without being told, and who's lifting others up around them. That's who moves up. And let me say this, we also have open lines of communication. Whether it's the daily tailgate talk or a Slack update from a foreman, our crews know what's expected and why. No confusion, no finger pointing, just real-time clarity. At the end of the day, we don't just build pads, we build people. And when you focus on building people, you build a company that lasts.
That's what separates contractors from true leaders. The B&B Standard isn't a slogan. It's a system that creates results, from the job site to the bottom line. B&B's been expanding steadily, multiple states, more services, and bigger projects. How do you scale while keeping quality and culture intact?
It starts with hiring right. I'd rather take time to find the right person than rush to fill a spot. We invest in training, field supervision, and tech that keeps our teams aligned. We've also built out a leadership pipeline so our best guys grow with us, not away from us.
Let's talk tools. B&B has started digitizing operations, tracking job progress, safety logs, and equipment usage. What made you pull that trigger, and what's changed since?
Honestly, Joe, this is another area where I give you credit. You showed us how technology, when applied correctly, helps you grow much faster than with pen and paper. Ultimately, it came down to one simple truth. If we want to grow, we can't operate like it's still 1999. The oil field's evolving, and to stay competitive, we had to evolve with it. Paper logs, handwritten dailies, calling things in over spotty radios, it all creates lag. Lag in communication, lag in accountability, lag in decision-making. And in this business, that lag costs money and lives. We didn't want to go digital just for the sake of it. We wanted to use tech as a force multiplier, something that empowers our field crews, not burdens them with more screens. So we rolled out mobile field ops systems where our guys can log everything. Tasks, safety checks, equipment hours, right from their phone or tablet. And here's the thing, we didn't just toss tech at the problem, we trained for it. We beta tested in-house, made sure it was fast, intuitive, and rugged enough for field conditions. We brought in our lead foreman, let them give feedback, and adjusted accordingly. That buy-in made all the difference. The results? Night and day. We've cut rework by nearly 40% because we're catching issues before they snowball. Huge shout out and thanks to our Director of Finance, Liz, and our COO, AJ, job costing is tighter, equipment maintenance is tracked in real time, and dispatch knows exactly where every crew and asset is on the map. We've cut down on fuel waste by optimizing routes. We've reduced idle time. Even safety has improved because near misses and hazards get reported instantly, not days later when someone remembers to hand in a form.
That's real return on investment, and it's not just dollars. It's time, trust, and confidence in your ops.
Exactly. And morale's up too. You'd think digital would create resistance, and it did at first. Some guys were skeptical, but once they saw how much smoother the day runs, less paperwork, fewer miscommunications, getting home on time, well, now they wouldn't go back. And what we're building isn't just for today, it's scalable. As we grow, these systems grow with us. Whether it's 2 job sites or 20, we've got visibility. We're looking at predictive analytics now, stuff like fatigue tracking, equipment life cycles, weather-based dispatch triggers. That's the next level. Bottom line, tech in the trenches isn't optional anymore. It's essential. And when you implement it with your people, not to them, it becomes a competitive advantage, not a chore.
As a founder and CEO, what's your vision for the future of B&B? And what advice would you give to someone starting their own oil field venture?
Future's about being the trusted name in oilfield support. Not the biggest, but the most respected. We'll keep expanding, but never at the cost of safety or quality. And my advice? Lead with your boots on the ground. Know your team, outwork the doubt, and treat every project like your name's on the line. Because it is.
You have mentioned your COO, AJ Burke, a few times on the call today. Do you think we can get him on next week's episode to talk operations?
Oh yeah, definitely. He would love to join in.
Powerful stuff. Justin, thanks again for joining us today and for the work you're doing to raise the standard in the oil field. To our listeners, if you found this episode valuable, follow Built on Grit on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. Share it with your team. And if you're in the oil and gas space looking for a partner you can trust, reach out to B&B Roustabout. Until next time, stay gritty.